Dossett.
We met this deadline last year, as we all recall. And everybody in this room has talked about how awesome last year was for our schools, for our funding stability, for our superintendents I see in the room that have to be planning next year right now. I've spoken on this many times at this point, and I say shame on us if a pending teacher strike is the only thing that gets us to follow the law. And that's just people. We did it last year. We could have done it this year. We showed real early what our priorities were, the things we rushed to the governor's desk. I supported some of those things, I opposed some of those things. But either way, this could have been one of those things, and it wasn't. I'm not saying that we won't get positive results out of this session, but I do say shame on us for not getting it done this year. Because it's not getting done, something would have had to come out of committee yesterday to be heard on the floor Monday, and that's not going to happen. So I think we should meet it.
It needs to be funded, but not just for political gains, because April 1, to me, is just a game. I served on a school board for like I said, 8 years. And back before I got elected to the Senate, in statute, it said that school boards had to contract with teachers by March 15th for the following school year. And every year, I got frustrated on the school board saying, this doesn't make any sense. We don't even get our budget until the end of the year. How can we contract with teachers and know how many teachers when we don't have a budget? That does not make sense. So what I did, my very first bill that I ran in the Senate, the very first year, was to move that date back to the first Monday in June. School boards meet on Mondays and make more sense out of that. Same thing with this April 1st deadline. Now, I just tell you, I'm also a chair of a subcommittee over transportation and general government, meaning I handle their budgets with other committee members and myself. And we've been working with our subcommittees and agencies, over 20 of them, since November. I've been meeting with them to figure out the budget. And we're very close to getting those figured out of what are the other essential needs of the state, like public safety, like ODOT. What are the other essential needs of our state so that we can ensure that we have the maximum amount that we can afford to put in to education. We're also very close on what we want to do with the budget for education. When I say very close, I mean between the House, the Senate, and the governor. Very close. So it is a priority. It needs to be funded. But honestly, the date needs to just be moved because it's not a realistic date. It's a political date, but it's not a date of substance.